we've had a lot of games on Tuesday in which you said you were going to get some calls about. So let's get into this thing. It's time for Sharp Calls.
Yeah, let's run through just the games that obviously we talked about and that they agree with us on. Professional side, no doubt about it, the Rams. People have seen that number. It's ballooned obviously up to 9 now at a couple books, so we'll talk about that one. Miami, shockingly, we were on the Panthers. There a lot of pros I know, they're on the Miami side. They like Miami side.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cowboys, another pro side. Talked to a lot of pros that really like that side. The Saints, no doubt about it. Tons of pro love for that side. Seahawks, which is shocking. I'm still dug into the Bucs, but we can break down that one if you want some more. Very shocked here. A little bit of love for this New England Patriots side. And once again, I think I'm going to stay on the other side. I think I'm going to be on the Bills. But I know some really smart guys who like that side. They love the Jags, so Chad definitely nailed that one. Pros are all over that Jags side, that number, 3.5. No threes, but 3.5's definitely the professional side. And a game that I got a blind spot to. I can't get a read on it. Vegas, talked to a bunch of pros that really like Vegas. They like the trends, they like the number, they like the spot, they like the situation. I am still dug in on the Colts. If you can get the -6, -6.5, I still think that's a preferred side for me. But maybe they've talked me out of even thinking of putting in our contest because it is, once again, very respected money on that Raiders side right now.
Wow, there's a lot of differences between what we had talked about on Tuesday and where I think we were leaning and what professional bettors that you're hearing from are talking about.
Yeah,
so
got a lot of hate. A lot of hate this week.
A lot of hate this week.
Yeah, it's gambling.
Man, that's interesting. All right, that was Sharp Calls. Always love hearing from the wise guys. We're going to dive into a bunch of those games, including the Monday night game. Kansas City at Jacksonville. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars at 3.5. They are the underdogs at home on Monday night. It hasn't moved to 3, but it is headed that way. The wise guys agree with me. As you noted in Sharp Calls, you really love the Chiefs here.
Well,
all of a sudden, the other day, you were all over it, but today, a little bit less confident.
No, honestly, it was just me trying to talk you off it. I was like, can I get Chad off this game? Because this is going to have to be in our contest now, which sucks. It's like, now I have to.
By the way, it doesn't. I don't think it does. Here's why. I don't think it does.
All right.
I don't think it does. Because there are so many games this week where lines are fluky, we're going to be able to take advantage. I think that takes precedent to me over, do we have to put in a hard game like this? Obviously, I bet it. I definitely bet the Jags at +3.5. But do I feel better about choosing the Jags over Denver, which I also bet, or choosing the Commanders, which I also bet? Like, I don't feel obligated to make this be a game that I am demanding we put in the contest.
Chad, nut up. Take a stand here. You love this team. This was your love's love on Tuesday. Like, you're all in. Be all in, brother. I get why you're hesitant. I mean, that's why I was hesitant here. And I'm like, I see Spags licking his chops in this matchup against Trevor Lawrence, which, again, they're winning despite him. It's really about the run game and the turnovers. Like, you go through all the numbers, I think they've already had more turnovers this season than they did all last season. So, this Jaguars team, that just might be their defense. Like we say all the time, a new team's going to make the playoffs. The Chags fit that description right now.
By the way, did you call them the Chags because I love them so much, or was that just a slip?
No, you're like that. I can't get over it. It's like you said, it's the pros. The pros are on it with Chad. And when we got done our show, I put it in like I've been doing every week. I try to put it in R5 right away. And then try to make minimum changes on it, maybe 1 or 2 tops out of those 5. Because, like we said, our early reads tend to be the right reads, and we overthink it come Sunday.
It's true.
So it's going to be hard for me, honestly, to take them out now because I have them in there. I see your reasoning, and this is going to be shaping up to be one of the big public sides. Like, I've talked to multiple bookmakers in different states. And that's a big thing for me. I like hearing from all different states because I don't want to just be regional. It's all Chiefs money. Everyone's thinking like I am. Like, this is such a Spags matchup against Trevor. This is a Jaguars team that's been very fortunate. They've gotten away with it. But I view it as, maybe I'm overrating too much of that Chiefs offense against that Ravens defense. This is a good defense in this Jaguars team, which I'm coming around on. And there are ways to attack Spags defense right now because they do have injuries and they are slower than they've been in the past. So I'm there with you. Like I said, it's painful to get there with you. But yeah, the pros love Chad's number. They love the 3.5, and that to me is the key here. If you're getting the 3.5 with the hook, I get it. Maybe I won't be betting this one, but I will support your bet in this Jaguar side.
Then we're probably going to have to put it in. Because I'm nutting up.
There
No
you
one
go.
challenges my ability to nut up,
You gotta.
Simon. Brass
Because
balls.
if you're right, you're a genius. If you're wrong, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, isn't that everything, though? That's how I live my life. All right.
No, I love the read, though.
Miami at Carolina. Carolina is now a 1.5-point underdog. I feel a little regretful because when we did the show on Tuesday, there were 1.5-point favorites. It had flipped. Now it's flipped back to them being underdogs. This would have been a Chad Loves, potentially, if the Carolina Panthers had been underdogs on Tuesday. It's two really bad teams, let's face it. And I still would rather be betting on the Panthers
Right.
than betting on the Dolphins in a situation where they've just lost Tyreek Hill. And the Panthers, they're not a very good team. We know that. But this Dolphins team is trash, really trash. And I don't think that they were as good as anyone thinks they were in the Monday night game.
Yeah, maybe not. That was honestly a perfect matchup for them. And the Jets being the Jets kept turning the ball over. That's really what decided that game. But
Yeah. And the penalties.
my fear here with Panthers is Chuba Hubbard, their number one back, who to me is one of the more underrated running backs in all of football. Doesn't get the credit, respect he deserves from the general public. He's honestly a stud. This was going to be a great match for him. He's banged up. He hasn't practiced yet this week. On the flip side, you go through the injuries to their line, their defense. The Panthers are just going through a lot, like a lot of teams are in football right now. And this is a huge discussion just in the football community. Like I talk to different scouts, different guys in organizations. This whole next collective bargaining agreement, I think they're going to bring back more padded practices and just more contact with people because you get early in the year here, all these guys are all getting banged up, and it just feels like it's all these different teams, and the Panthers are part of that list, and so is Miami, right? You just said Tyreek Hill. As big of a deal it is to lose Tyreek Hill, he's honestly, statistically, he was one of the better receivers this year. His win rate, getting open, all that stuff, that's going to be a big deal. But I can't stop and think about how this is the exact matchup Tua thrives in, which is zero pass rush, and he's going to have guys open. And he just does well against bad teams. You go through his historical data, he always beats up on bad teams and just gets ruined by good teams on the road. So, it's a game I was with Chad. I was confident on the Panthers. Still going to be on the Panthers, especially at plus 1.5, but just knowing the respected money that is on Miami, their reasoning, their position, why they're taking on this Miami team, I get it. Because I did go back and watch the Bryce Young tape, and it's like, even that Atlanta win, he didn't look that good, honestly. So I'm worried about him, Chad. I'm not going to lie. He just doesn't look right yet mentally, all of it. And, Bryce Young, slowly but surely, is playing himself out of the NFL, especially the way he's been playing this year.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Number 1 overall pick.
Not only that, he just showed something last year where I thought that would carry into this year, and it just has not at all.
Well, chances are very good that we finally might bet the Carolina Panthers.
Well, we got lucky they
This
flipped me a
season.
dog because I'm sure people have seen those stats. They haven't won or covered as a favorite in 4 years or 3 years. I think it was since 23.
Totally.
And yeah, they've just been a disaster in this exact spot. I mean, they're just. I know the owner's trying to hire a bunch of nerds, and he thinks that's going to help, but it isn't. You need, I don't even know. You need to just blow it all up. They just need to start from the ground up. It feels like everything they do is wrong, and there are pieces to like on this Panthers team, but like I just said, between all the injuries, Chad, I'm a little uneasy about this game.
All right. Tampa Bay Bucs going across the country visiting the Seattle Seahawks. The Bucs are 3.5. You've sort of dug in on the Bucs.
Yeah.
I haven't bet this game. I kind of lean Seattle. And I think this defense is just so good. And I don't think you can discount the fact of how good they are at getting pressure without ever blitzing. We talked about the Broncos. The Broncos are great at getting pressure, but the Broncos need to blitz to get the pressure. And like the Seahawks, and I'm talking about overall statistically, like the Broncos are blitzing more than anyone else in football. And have a
You
great,
know that's Sartain stat though, right?
what's that?
Like Patrick is so good at one-on-one shutdown corner, they can use that fifth guy to blitz. They don't need to have two in coverage.
That's true.
That's
true.
honestly what it is.
That's true. The Seahawks are only rushing 4.
Yeah,
like
they're great.
They're like their blitz rate is the second lowest in the league. And so isn't that what usually gives Baker a hard time is when they're not blitzing because it's everybody is covered downfield. So I worry about that. I worry about Bucky Irving. I like betting on good defenses. I think they are safe and reliable. you know, like I don't love the Bucs here is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and as someone that loves the Seahawks, I get where you're coming from. To me, though, this is a Baker spot and a sell spot on the Seahawks team. And this would be a bigger bet of mine if, like you said, it wasn't for the injuries. Because I do think Bucky Irving is a huge deal. Like, this guy is electric. Every time he touches the ball, he could break it for 70.
Yeah.
He's one of the best weapons in football. But like I said, this is a Baker number, a Baker spot. I had to go try to find the numbers. Shout out to my guy Evan Abrams. He put it all in one nice spot for me because I was like, what is Baker's career as a dog? And I think I was going too far back where I just really needed to focus on what he's been with this Bucs team. So as an underdog in this spot, Baker 15-8 against the spread as an underdog, covering by 5.5 points per game. So that's what I think is like built into me. It's like Baker has been so good to me in these exact spots. And how can you not want to sell a Seahawks team that they are good? This is no doubt the best defense they've faced all year. Like, people are going to start realizing this secondary, like the cover corners. I know the Eagles got shut down. They got some young studs on that team down in Tampa. Like, Todd Bowles is coaching these young kids up, and they're scrappy. Like, I loved going back watching that game where even when it was a tight window, they're very handsy, very physical with the receivers, and I think that's where you need to be with this Seahawks team. And JSN, a guy I gave out to lead the league in receiving yards, I think he's second right now. He's been dominant for the Seahawks. He's been one of the best receivers in football, and him and Sam Darnold have a real connection right now. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see what they do when you got Vita Vea taking away their run game, and you have some really good secondary options taking out JSN and that attacking offense of Seahawks. Like, again, I like the under in this game more than anything else, but I think you're getting good value on this Bucs team at 3.5. Where, again, they should have covered, in my opinion, last week. This line's moved too much based on the injuries. It was 2.5. It did open 2.5, and now it's moved up to 3.5. But like I said, if you just want to avoid it, I get it. The professionals I know that I've talked to, they like the Seahawks side. Not finding too many guys like me that love this Bucs side. So maybe I'm not reading this one correctly, and that's why I'm being a little hesitant with it. But yeah, once again, just like Denver, they're getting me with the hook. I just can't believe it's 3.5. This game should be 3 in my opinion. They desperately need me and some other people to bet this Bucs team clearly because this hook has just been up for 3 days now. So pretty interesting line here with this Seahawks Bucs game.
Well, as John Popper once said, the hook will bring you back.
It's true.